Because I want this to be good. I want so badly for this to be the one that breaks the curse.
From what I've read, outstanding. Welcome to a brand new episode of Undisputed Nerds. This is the podcast for reviews, recommendations, and sometimes, just sometimes, a few rants. I'm your host, Zane Taicho, your captain.
You rants.
Your captain of recommendations. And as always, I am joined by the Kota Ibushi to my Kenny Omega, my best friendo, Susu Day. Welcome back.
Hello. A flourish. I return from
zesty.
I return from a land across the sea.
How was your holiday, Bobs?
Like we were discussing prior to the show.
Mm.
Holidays have a way of making you look inwards, and then have a way of making you look at the life you're living and the job you're doing and go, nah fam, that ain't it. So yeah, currently feeling a little bit disillusioned with the whole 9-to-5 job thing at the moment, when I just had a lovely 2 weeks where I didn't have a care in the world. So
oh man, I can only imagine. Must have felt like the 6-week holidays compressed into just 14 days.
Don't even get me started, because my daughter's literally just about to start summer holidays, so she's going to be in bed until like 10 a.m. like every single morning, and I'm going to be like working.
Oh, I miss the days of just firing up a Final Fantasy VIII and just being like, "This is the summer.
This is my day. This is my week. This is the whole thing."
But anyways, we're not here to reminisce. We are here to talk about some anime news. This is going to be a chock-a-block episode of anime news. San Diego Comic-Con is currently happening as we're talking, and there's some few things that have come to light since the Comic-Con. I don't know if I said that right. There's been things coming out of Comic-Con, shall I say. News from Pokemon. We have just seen the trailer for the live-action One Piece. There's a brand new trailer. Check it out on our Twitter. We've reshared it, and we'll probably... Are we going to talk about that now, or are we going to leave that to last?
I think we should just go straight for it. Let's just go.
Okay.
Let's just go for it.
I'd like to thank the sponsor of today's video, Surfshark VPN, who have given me, now get this, 83% off plus 3 months free. So if you've been meaning to pick up a VPN, now might be the time. Surfshark is a trusted VPN to help you protect your privacy online. Whether that's protecting yourself from malicious websites, or if you're in a public Wi-Fi connection, you can keep your information locked down. Surfshark's clean web feature blocks ads, trackers, malware, and phishing attempts, allowing you to surf the web safely. Plus, it lets you change your virtual location. So if there's an anime on Netflix that's not available in your country, but say in Japan, guess what? You're in Japan now. You want to use BBC iPlayer to watch all of Doctor Who. So pick up Surfshark using the link in the description down below and use the code Undisputed Anime, and you'll get 83% off and 3 months free. Check it out. Thoughts, reaction? I want to hear your take on it first.
Okay, this is hot. Straight from the mouth of someone who's just seen it. I didn't hate it. It was a very, very good trailer. and that scares me more, because now I actually have an ember of hope that they might actually get this right, because the trailer is so good, and it shows exactly how far the series, at least this first season, is going to go.
Yeah.
And I mean, we got to see some key characters. You get to see Buggy, you get to see Arlong.
Yeah.
You get to see some other devil fruit powers in play.
Yeah. I
Yes,
think...
he doing
yeah, go ahead. Say that again.
You get to see Sanji doing a fight.
Mm.
There's a lot going on, and I didn't dislike anything that I saw, which terrifies me.
Yeah, because I remember the Cowboy Bebop live action trailer we got with the music, where they pretty much reenact the opening sequence.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, maybe this could be it. And it wasn't.
Yeah. I just have to hope and pray that Oda loves his baby enough that he wouldn't let Netflix like massacre it in front of him.
Yes. Yeah. Oh man, it's a tricky one, isn't it? And
yeah,
I really like the attention to detail. Like, I like the opening of the trailer is Roger.
It's the opening. Yeah, it's the opening of One Piece.
yeah. The detail on his jacket and stuff was amazing. His menacing laugh was great. A bit of a weird accent. I couldn't place it.
I was really expecting him to have a deeper, more gruff voice, but that's probably based on the fact that like the Japanese voice actor who does Goldie Roger in the anime has his voice just seems much lower and
more
like,
bassy and stuff. Yeah. Yeah.
But you know, like you said, everything about it was the composition of it was incredible. Like it was good. It felt like One Piece. It felt like the world felt like it was alive.
Yeah.
So even some of the like sillier things, like you get to see Luffy use Gatling gun in the trailer, and it doesn't like, because I think that was one of the first things I said when I heard they were making a live action is like, how ridiculous is it going to be to see Luffy's powers in live action? But it's actually looking pretty good.
Yeah, and especially
this is so bad.
Especially when he stretches out his cheek as well to prove that he's a rubber man. I was like, oh wow, that actually looks a lot more convincing than any other stretchy person I've ever seen.
Yeah, and I think all of the casting has been good. Like they're all very, very good choices for their like characters, and we're getting to see like snippets of them doing it now, and they obviously care about doing a good job.
Yeah.
I'm so scared because I want this to be good. I want so badly for this to be the one that breaks the curse.
Yeah, it'd be phenomenal if this is the IP that breaks the curse. First time we've seen Shanks as well. We've actually seen the face, not just the back of him or an outline of him. So that was interesting. Also got the moment where Luffy puts his straw hat on Nami, and I was like, whoa. Wow. So that was great. Hawkeye, which I've just...
Yeah, we got to see Mihawk.
Yeah. Amazing. Looks almost straight off the pages himself. So that was great. So yeah, really exciting trailer. Really
It's very clear that they've done as much as they can. I think now, I guess, it's in the hands of the people who watch it, isn't it? That's how it's going to be. And we've got to wait until nearly the end of August for that.
August 31st, yeah.
Watch the trailer. Let us know what you think in the comments. If you too are also feeling a small ember of hope based on this trailer, then let us know.
I feel like you're...
I'm so scared.
I feel like you're Hawkeye in Infinity War, where he's in Tokyo and he's in the rain and he's like, don't give me hope.
Yes, that is exactly it. I'm like, I don't know. We talked about this before. Like Netflix have tried this at least at least 3 times if you include One Piece, and they've always done it with these like massive popular IPs. They did Death Note, and they massacred our boy. they did Cowboy Bebop, which I hear is like, I hear that Cowboy Bebop isn't bad. It's not as bad as like watching like the Death Note that they did, or it's not as bad as watching Dragon Ball Z. Or Dragon Ball Evolution, was it? That's what it was called. But still, I don't know. I just want this to be good, because I'm tired of seeing big companies wreck things that we love. So
I want this to be good as well. But as you say, the proof will be in the pudding when it drops on the 31st of August.
Yeah, temper your expectations. I think we've still got to temper our expectations. It was a great trailer, and I'd be lying if I tried to even convince you, but it's not good. It's a very good trailer. It's been very well put together, but that's what trailers are meant to do. They're meant to make you want to watch it. 100%. And at the end of the day, what the biggest plan for Netflix is, they just need to make sure that a lot of people watch it in like the first week or so. They need to make sure enough people watch it to have justified doing it. Yeah. So it's got to be good enough to get people to watch it before people start telling people it's not worth watching. So temper your expectations, but maybe this is it. Maybe this is it, guys.
Do we dare to dream?
I mean, I've always had opinions about whether anime should go in, like, be made live action. I think that, to be honest, I prefer it when Japanese anime movies are made in Japan in live action, because they are very self-aware of exactly how like campy they are compared to the original piece. They follow it so closely, and it just kind of works. I can overlook it when it's like made in Japan, because it just kind of reminds me of like all the old like hero like shows and stuff. It's that sort of something I expect from like Japanese production.
I completely agree, because like, for example, the live action Bleach movie, although it's not a like for like, and a lot of it is cut and chopped to make a feature length, I think it does a pretty good job of like saying, here's Ichigo, here's Ruki. It feels faithful to the characters and the story plot itself. But yeah, there is a chop in there or two to kind of compress it into a movie. But yeah, as you
same
say,
with Death Note as well, isn't it? Remember the original Death Note movies? They're not bad.
No,
like they're 1,000 times better than the Netflix one, because they're so faithful to the original material. Maybe that's to the detriment for some people, but like I think it's when it's done. They had like Danny California by Red Hot Chili Peppers playing in the trailer of it was such a bizarre time to be alive.
Yeah, I remember that. What a crazy time to be alive. Shall we talk about the other trailer that dropped today? Here we go. A trailer for Luffy's Gear 5 has been released. Now, we watched this just before hitting record. Susu Day, thoughts and reactions to the Gear 5 trailer?
I mean, I think the Gear 5 animated looks great. It looks incredible. It looks like it's going to be just as fun as it is to read in the manga. But, and my but isn't about Gear 5 itself. My but is generally because I feel like it would have been better if they just didn't make the trailer at all.
Yes. Yeah. I full-heartedly agree with you. I feel like the trailer probably gives away too much. This is an experience like that doesn't really come around that often, and I know people are probably screaming every other anime has a transformation, like, you know, thinking of My Hero Academia and everything else. But I always think back to the Super Saiyan transformation, or even recently Ultra Instinct. Like, it's best to lock that first look behind. Like, that's where you want them to come.
I think it would have
else, but
I think it would have been better if the trailer had literally just shown maybe the very beginning of the transformation, and like maybe shown because like I remember from the manga, the chapter ended with the transformation starting.
I remember, yeah,
and then it obviously moved on to a different fight.
So
I think it would have been better, even if they were to just show show a still of like Luffy from behind in that form, or just like make it like, you know, like remember when One Piece Red came out and you see Gear 5 in One Piece Red, but it's like it's so brief.
Yeah.
If they could have just like given us the smallest, briefest glimpse of it, I think it would have been better. I think that they've given too much away, and for people who have seen the trailer, that might wreck the episode for them when it actually happens.
Yeah, it might not have the same impact as it would do without seeing it. So yeah.
It's like you made a good example. Imagine if like when that original Super Saiyan transformation happened in Dragon Ball Z. Imagine if that had happened, but beforehand we had seen a trailer where we had like seen him fighting as Super Saiyan.
Yeah, I know we came dangerously close with the Lord Slug movie, but then here in the West that wasn't exactly accessible as easily as things are these days. So again, if you'd never seen that, you probably would have just thought it was another variation of Kaioken, which is what it is in the movie, quotation. But yeah, it'd be a darn shame to ruin it like that.
Yeah, and I think I guess that the problem is that we are now in a society of people who consume media who constantly need to see like proof of something before it happens.
A proof of concept. Yeah.
People need if you don't build the hype, people get really annoyed that you didn't build the hype. But then if you build the hype, they get annoyed that you showed too much. It's kind of like we're in a like a weird, like you get that a lot of like video games, isn't it? It's like people like gamers hate it when studios don't share progress, but when they do share progress, they're like, when they do share it, they're like, well, now we know. Like they're like, oh, we should have only found this out when we actually started playing the game.
Yeah. It's a tricky line to toe because, as you rightly said, this is so. What's the word I'm looking for? It's drawing such a big audience at the moment. Like everyone's saying that this could break the internet again. With the Gear 5 transformation, and it could overload all the bloody Crunchyroll servers with the amount of people who want to see this animated. And from the trailers, it looks gorgeous. It looks so well animated. Like Toei have really thrown some money at it, and I think Warner Brothers had a hand in it as well from some of the articles I read. But it is very, very, very exciting.
Yeah. It's a weird time to be alive, isn't it? Where, like, you know, it's never been easier to see previews of things, and people call out for those previews to happen, but are then unhappy that the preview happens.
Yeah. It's not.
And I think, I think I've had like quite an opinion on this like for the last couple of years, but I think that like. Because things take so long to produce and people now expect to see previews of it, I think that people set their expectations way too high. And when you set your expectations way too high and you're consistently doing that, then nothing ever meets your expectations. It's like a good example of that is Final
Kingdom
Fantasy
Hearts 3.
Kingdom Hearts 3, Kingdom Hearts 3, Final Fantasy 15, games like that, where we got the announcement of those games like 10 years prior to them being released, and during that time you get next no information. So when it finally comes out, you've got this expectation that it's going to be like, because you've already decided in your head how you think it would be the best game.
Yeah.
And then it doesn't do that, and then you're like, well, this is a bad game now because my expectations were too high.
Yeah. And we've talked about expectations previously on the show, like, for example, JoJo, Stone Ocean. My personal experience, I felt like TikTok may have destroyed my expectations of what Made in Heaven may look like.
Yeah, because there have been so many like speculations and like people going, oh yeah, by the way, this is how it's going to happen. You get like everyone, it's a vicious circle, isn't it? It's difficult. It's very difficult.
Very difficult. Also, that's very difficult. Drum roll, ready?
Do you have a drum roll?
There we go. Minato, the one shot, Naruto's dad. It says, well, the manga did get leaked. I saw a couple of leaks. I've actually read it now. Now it's actually been publicized. Have you read the Minato one shot?
No, I have not.
Have you not?
No, I'm kind of like I'm kind of like in this weird spot of like, I hate it when stuff like leaks early. That I might read it early, but right now I'm kind of like out of principle. I'm like, no, this wasn't intended. I shouldn't be reading it ahead of time, especially if it's like being very, very quickly fan translated as well. Like, sometimes you'll read like a very hastily like translated like scan, and you're like, they get it completely wrong.
Yeah,
and like you miss some of the like context. So I'm gonna leave it a little while.
I think it's been publicized on the Shonen Jump app now.
Has it really?
I think so. I could be wrong.
That's okay. So I might read that after the podcast then. So
I definitely read it this morning. I don't know if it was a translated scan or.
I guess we will see.
Yeah. From what I've read, outstanding. Like, it's so crazy that Kishimoto can come back and just kick out an incredible one shot. Like, the panel work is amazing, the artwork is outstanding, but it's just kind of like, it feels like now he has a little bit of hindsight of, he knows his audience, he knows what the audience like, and what's an easy win for them. It feels like this chapter was just a buffet for Naruto fans and fans of Kishimoto's work as well.
I'm just looking at it just now, because it is, you're right, it's been officially now. I guess it leaked and they were like, well, let's just nip this in the bud and get it on the right. So I'm on Manga Plus right now, and it's there, and it's well put.
Oh, it's I'd love to get your thoughts. Maybe we'll catch up after, but I absolutely love this. Goes into, again, Minato's journey. It kind of gives more context to the relationship of Minato and Kushina as well. What I also loved about this is that it gives a little insight to the Uzumaki clan. One of the bigger mysteries from Naruto lore is what happened to the Uzumaki clan. We get a little bit of insight there, which is great. It just hits every beat you'd want, really. And I was just like, I want more, but I know I shouldn't.
I mean, the fact that the opening page is absolutely insane.
Yeah.
Like, it opens in like, there is no doubt that this is going to get turned into the next Naruto movie.
100%. This is going to get animated.
yeah, there's no way it couldn't, because people are gonna be crying out for it.
Yeah. Plus, this is, before we forget, this was a fan voted one shot. The Naruto 99 voting system.
Of course.
So this is off the back of that. This is why we've got this one shot. Fans voted for their favorite character. Kishimoto made a one shot off the back of that, of the most voted favorite character. I have to mention, I was blown away that Minato's squad has a brother in the squad. Some descendant from the Cloud Village is in the group.
Takai. What's his name? He's right there.
I think I found my new cosplay. So
incredible.
An amazing one shot. I really can't wait for this to be publicized as a actual physical copy, because it was wonderful.
It's gonna be a good one. Gonna be a good one. I'll read that properly afterwards. I'm just kind of like flicking through chapters right now, but I'm gonna actually read it afterwards. So,
off the back of that, we did get the announcement of the second part of Boruto. Which
I'm so excited.
Which is after the time skip, apparently. Named Two Blue Vortex.
It honestly, like, the last chapter that was released ended on such a cliffhanger, and it was like, this is definitely going into a time skip. There's no way it can't go into a time skip. So now I'm like really excited, because like, despite what I'm getting like really like hype right now.
I can hear it in your voice.
But like, despite what people say about the anime, I continue to stand by the fact that the anime isn't bad. It's just been colored badly in people's minds, because when it first released, there wasn't enough Boruto manga, and as a result, the first like half of all the episodes that exist for Boruto are all filler, and that feels really bad, especially coming off the back of like Shippuden.
Yeah.
And stuff like, so I think that if like cut out all the filler of Boruto, if it had launched as just maybe one filler arc and then going straight into all the content that's in the mangas, I think people will be talking about it much more positively. But this time skip is going to be absolutely wild, especially because we knew a time skip had to happen based on the first chapter of the manga.
Yeah, the first couple of pages, we knew that a time skip was going to happen.
Inevitable.
Yeah, I'm a little bit excited myself. I remember, of course, the transition from OG Naruto into Shippuden, and Shippuden was so exciting. It really was so exciting. I remember, like, obviously Naruto coming back home after training for years with Jiraiya, going through the test with
trial
Kakashi.
again,
yeah. The introduction of Sai, I thought was amazing. Like, so yeah, I remember being really excited for Shippuden, and I say what you will about the ending, I don't think Shippuden really disappointed as a whole body of work, and I hope the same happens for Two Blue Vortex. I think they should really shorten it down to Naruto Vortex.
Maybe they will. But who knows? I think it's going to be good. I think it's going to be one of those things. I think that once Boruto ends, I think that we're probably going to see more people coming around to it. I think people will. Yeah. I think what it is. I think in the very much the same way as, like, you know, when 1,000 Year Blood War got announced, you had like an influx of people on the internet putting together posts which are like, which episodes to watch to avoid the filler. And I think that's what's going to happen with like that, and that happens with so many like large anime these days, isn't it? It's like, what can I watch? What should I watch? And what can I avoid watching to get up to date?
There's dedicated websites, because I've used them before in the past to catch up on things, and there are dedicated websites that tell you these are canon episodes. These episodes have a mix of canon and filler, and these ones are pure filler. So yeah, you're right. People will probably go out and look for those.
Animefillerlist.com.
Who would have guessed?
So there we go. We've got all those fillers marked up. Apparently Boruto only has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It's only got 11 mixed episodes.
Mm.
And the rest is all canon episodes, and like it's manga canon and anime canon. So
yeah, it really likes to dance around the definition.
But yeah.
Yeah. Do you want some exciting news?
Give me the news. I'm hungry for exciting news, Zane.
This one shocked me like you wouldn't believe. So acclaimed anime director, sorry if I mispronunciate this, Shinichiro Wababe.
Watanabe.
I practiced this yesterday, and I'm under pressure, and I'm falling and failing.
It's fine. It's fine. Not everyone is good. Not everyone is amazing with words. Everyone has skills that they're good at and skills that they're bad at.
I'm going to have some coffee. Let me try it. I'm too scared to try now.
Shinichiro Watanabe.
Thank you. Is working on a new project title called Lazarus, alongside John Wick series director Chad. I'm not going to say that surname. This will be animated by Studio Mappa for Adult Swim. Watanabe. No. Watanabe, thank you. Is more famous for directing shows like Cowboy Bebop, Space Dandy, and Samurai Champloo. This is
all great, all bangers.
Like easily in top 10 lists of anime series you need to watch. This is so exciting. I can't believe that there's another project. Do you know what I mean? It's just wow.
Right, I gotta say it. I'm not happy with Mappa right now. Mappa is in my bad books.
Oh yeah. I remember why.
Mappa is in my bad books at the moment, and not Mappa as a whole. Mappa's like CEO, like the big shot, big Kahuna at the top, for saying the Yuri on Ice. So okay. I love Yuri on Ice. I think it's an incredible anime. Mm-hmm. They announced a movie years ago, and we've got no news about it. And now the big boss of Mappa is saying Yuri on Ice was really popular. Didn't make us a lot of money though. So yeah. So he's he's come out and he's implied that there's no movie in the works at the moment. But the most annoying thing is he's not said that it's cancelled. He's not said that the movie isn't going to happen. But he's also not said it is going to happen. So it's kind of like, just tell us if it is or not. Like, you can't just leave us hanging on a shoestring. It's horrible. I'd rather just them say it's cancelled so I can move on with my life.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. I guess because it is, although it didn't make a ton of money, it was still well received, still very popular, and such. So I think they're not ready to give up on it. It's just that Mappa's catalog is so stacked right now. It's unbelievable. And I guess in the climate of we've got Chainsaw Man Season 2, potentially a Chainsaw Man movie. We've got obviously Jujutsu Kaisen happening right now, and who knows, probably another Jujutsu Kaisen movie, and everything else in between. Attack on Titan, which is never ending but part final.
You mean part 6, episode 2.8
final
remix plus.
Re Aaron Yeager. Yeah, I think it's probably a smart decision to kind of put pause on it, but I do really hope that they come back to it.
It's got so much potential.
Yeah, but it's not every day that the man behind Cowboy Bebop comes knocking and says, "I want to make something," and you go, "With
it's gonna be exciting." Give us something that is a perfect mixture. Give us a samurai space western.
Oh wow! Yeah.
No, that's what you get if you combine all three of those titles.
Yeah. Ooh, I like that. I wonder what Lazarus could be. Because Lazarus is kind of to do with rebirth, isn't it? Like a reincarnation.
It's like the Lazarus pits from Batman.
Yeah.
But it could just be a code name, though. It could just be like a placeholder just for the project. It might not have anything to do with the title itself. Still exciting stuff, though. Still exciting stuff.
Always great soundtracks. Always great soundtracks.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Projects.
And who can ever hate Space Dandy is a dandy in space as an opening to every single episodes.
It's very true. It's a really fun series. It doesn't get a lot of praise.
I think that people take a look at it and they watch the episode and they're like, this is too gaggy for me. But it's like it's such a fun little title. I definitely think people give it a shot.
Absolutely. News coming out of San Diego Comic-Con. Pokemon Ultimate Journey will air in the US on September 8th. This is the culmination, if I've said that correctly, of Ash Ketchum's story. So this is the final part of Ash's arc, shall we say. So this will be his farewell tour, and that will happen on September the 8th in the US.
I bet his voice actress is so heartbroken right now.
Apparently there was a trailer that was shown at San Diego and she was sat in the audience for the trailer.
Oh my god, that must when you're I can't even imagine how it must feel to say goodbye to a character that you have voiced for so long.
Yeah, it's crazy to think. And for so many generations as well. 25 years with that character is crazy. Even for Western audience, because I think the only closest thing to that is probably something like the Simpsons.
Yeah, Simpsons. Yeah, absolutely.
Simpsons.
That's the only really the longest term thing that would be in our lives in the West. But yeah, I was watching Pokemon as soon as it started getting aired in the UK. And I don't really watch Pokemon, and I don't watch it at all anymore. I think I stopped watching it God, I can't remember how many generations ago. But the idea of Ash's story coming to an end makes me feel sad, because I was there at the beginning of that journey, and I was there through so much of the journey.
Yeah,
it's kind of sad. Say goodbye. It's like saying goodbye to an old friend.
Absolutely, yeah. And I remember going through a similar experience with Digimon, because I was a very big Digimon fan as a kid, and
tell me about it.
when they move on to the other generations and stuff, it just felt like saying goodbye, like you said, goodbye to a friend, saying goodbye to part of your childhood and part of your life. So it's heartbreaking, but it's exciting for new characters.
Yeah, I think that like not today, but that would be a nice transition into talking about why some people feel so negatively about like series that go into the change main characters and stuff like that, because and I guess this is also why you have people who are so outraged when people release new versions of a show with slight changes, and they're like, well, no, this isn't my childhood. Like, you're ruining my memory.
Yeah, yeah.
But that's a conversation for another day. That's not a today episode thing.
Absolutely. I feel like this might be a very One Piece episode.
More One Piece news.
I believe it or not, there's more. So coming out of San Diego, there is more One Piece news. So Crunchyroll had announced that some of the One Piece movies, so more specifically One Piece Red, Stampede, and One Piece Film Gold, will be coming to Crunchyroll.
Incredible.
Very, very soon.
That's incredible, because I saw Stampede is on Netflix, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Gold I have not seen.
Mm.
So I'd be interested to see that, and obviously I would love to watch One Piece Red again.
Yeah, One Piece Red was really good. I really enjoyed that.
Such a great experience. It's like, I think we said it when we talked about it on the show. Like, it's like One Piece Red is less a movie and more of like an experience.
Mm-hmm.
Is such a wild, like it's such a wild piece of media.
Yeah, and because it combines music, doesn't it? It's a very heavy focus on music and concerts and things.
And that's why it was so good to see on the big screen, because I think the audio that the cinema could lend to it like only made it better. So
absolutely, I'd be really interested to see the dub version, because I've heard really good things about the music for the dub. So definitely worth checking out. This is due to One Piece Day, which is on July 22nd.
One Piece!
The films will be coming to the streaming service on July 27th. So only a couple of days away, not too long. So we'll be able to see those.
Sounds good.
There was an announcement of some new anime series as well that are coming to Crunchyroll. Let me pop this back up on screen. There we go.
Oh, you gotta let me take a guess on that second one.
Go for it.
I was reincarnated as a tiger in a fantasy world, and now but now I live as a little lady's pet.
Honestly, I don't.
At its finest.
All I know is it's called Fluffy Paradise.
I think my title was better.
I think your title was better. Let's just see if it does have anything more about it. No, it doesn't have anything.
I'm going to Google
besides
it.
The trailer.
I need to know if it is an isekai that should be called what I called it.
Fluffy Paradise will be streaming on January 2024. The other series, Shy, will be streaming on October of this year, 2023.
Exciting. More anime is always good.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you ready?
Hit me with it.
Midori Akitsu ends up in another world after dying from overwork. I got reincarnated in another world after God blessed me with a special ability. This ability is to be loved by non-human beings. Huh? Meaning that humans might not like me, but all the fluffy animals will. So the story is actually about the girl, not the
animal.
So I thought that my thought was like, obviously this is someone who's reincarnated or like isekai as a tiger.
To be fair, I like yours better.
I could name a million isekai now. I'm an expert at create. Like if anyone wants to make an anime, if there are any big name companies who are looking for a plot of a new anime to make them like millions of yen, like tens of millions of yen. Probably I need to add another decimal place in, I think, because yen's obviously a different valuing system. But, you know, if you're watching the show, like slide into my DMs. I will give you 10 award-winning isekai concepts.
Well, this is what we may need to do, because I've seen quite a few content creators do this now. Is that in this space? Is that you create a proof of concept and you go to Webtoon, and Webtoon will then create the manga series for you. You get hired an artist, and you get to work with Webtoon. And from there, I heard the pen drop, I know. From there, you can then have a proof of concept to go to a Netflix-like studio or someone else to get it animated.
This is, you know how at the start of the show we were talking about how I'm being disillusioned by 9 till 5? This is it. This is my new trajectory. Like, I'm gonna make the next top, like, award-winning isekai.
By the way, Webtoons, reach out to your boys. We'd love to collaborate with you guys.
Oh, Webtoons! I love you, Webtoons. I read so much on Webtoons. I read so much. I've got. You know how I've got a massive list of manga that I read and a massive list of manhwa that I read. I've also got a massive list of things on Webtoons that I read. I read a lot. I just don't read books. I'm just not a book guy. I just
really embrace the digital reading it, haven't you? Like,
yeah, I mean, it's so easy to do, and like it's much easier to do everywhere, and it's much smaller, compact little, bits of media that I can fit into my busy, boring life.
I really had to like pretend to be asleep to be able to read that Minato chapter, or else my wife would just be like, "Can you do this?" You know what I mean? It's just kind of like, we're now watching this. I was like, I need to pretend I'm asleep so that when she leaves the room, I could just like read this, because I need to read it because the leaks are everywhere.
I'm like, if anything ever that comes out, I'm like, yes, I need to go and do a chore somewhere else. So I'm gonna go and do this chore. I'm like reading something, or it'll be like a YouTube video, but it's just kind of like, what's I'm like, okay. It's breaking news.
Breaking. Anyways, that's some insight into marriage life for a weed. Hey, thanks. I think that's the episode, right? Am I wrapping everything up?
I don't think that there's unless like, I'm waiting for the green screen behind you to drop and find out you're actually in like the main convention hall of San Diego Comic Con. You're like, breaking news.
What's that?
This is an Undisputed Anime exclusive.
Yeah, from Hall H.
Yeah, I can't think of. I don't think that there's anything that's released while we've been talking, other than
yeah, absolutely.
everything we've talked about. So
yeah, if anything more comes out, I know there's been panels for all the different manga publications, like Viz and Kodansha and such. So make sure to follow our Twitter page, because we'll be sure to share content there about any other announcements, as well as our Instagram, which is at undisputed_anime. All the links will be in the description down below, as well as our own personal channels and social medias. Make sure to drop your boys a follow. That includes you, Webtoons. Yeah. It's been fun. Had fun catching up.
Yeah, it's been a while. Good to be back in the anime scene. I'm like always sitting around in my life. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm pretty passive. I don't really have any strong opinions. You bring me on this podcast, I'm like, strong opinions. I've got some really strong opinions about stuff. And they only ever come out when we're recording a show that's meant to appeal to a lot of people. So
I know what you mean. Yeah, yeah. Um,
hear
by
my
the way,
voice.
I feel like I'm already falling behind on this season's lineup of anime. There's so much to watch.
Yeah, same. I'm keeping up with JJK because
Mm.
obviously my wife is in love with Gojo.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something we can't avoid. Obviously, keeping up with Bleach as well. Another
Yeah.
one that it's very easy for me to watch those ones because I have someone in my house who also wants to watch those.
Yeah.
But the other stuff, there's a lot. There's a lot that I need to watch. There's a lot that I've been wanting to rewatch. I want to start like Unlimited Blade Works again.
Yeah,
That's my next one. I want to try and get. I want to try and get my wife to watch Unlimited Blade Works. I'm just going to stop calling her my wife. I'm just going to. If you hear me say Kira, I'm talking about my wife.
Yeah. Would you start with Fate Zero?
No, I would just go straight into Unlimited Blade Works. I'm not interested in getting her into Fate as a whole. I would quite like to rewatch Unlimited Blade Works, and it's easier for me to facilitate that if I have someone who lives with me who is like, can we watch another episode of that show we started? Because it kind of fits into the day because all of our other plans get cancelled to do those things. You know.
I see. Yeah.
There's no single person activities. There's no like, oh, you can do this while I play a video game. It's like we do this together. It's something we do together. So
that's cool. Oh, I don't think I've told you. I know we were wrapping things up, but I don't think I told you my thoughts on Summer, that movie, the romance anime movie that came out.
Yes, I almost went to see it last Saturday. Almost.
Did you really? Yeah.
Yeah, we our daughter was at a sleepover, and I was like, "Do you want to go to the movies?" And there was like nothing on. But I was like, "Oh, would you be interested in seeing this movie?" And she was like, "Yes." And then it got to like later in the day, and we were like, "Actually, I don't really feel like going out the house." I almost went to see it. Yeah, let me know. Like, tell me what was it like? Was it good? It seemed really interesting.
Really good. I think you'll really like it because there's a certain type of supernatural activity that happens.
Is like so when I read the description of it, it gives me very big The Girl Who Leapt Through Time kind of vibes.
Oh, okay. I would probably say it's probably got more. I don't know if this is because like cinema bias or whatever, or I guess cinema recency, but I would say it's more like Shizume in a lot of ways than it probably is. Because
that's easier for you to say because you've obviously seen Shizume. I've not seen it, so I don't have a frame for comparison, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's that classic of how do I explain this without sounding slightly biased? It is a great movie. The movie we're talking about is The Tunnel of Summer and The Exit of Goodbyes. It is a really good movie. I think I can't help but compare it to Shizume because there's so many themes that are so similar. Supernatural activities, falling in love over the summer period, and so forth. I just don't think it stacks up as good as Shizume. I think that's the kind of short answer. It's still a great movie, some real great themes, but it's not a spectacle. It's not like an incredible roller coaster like Shizume was. This is very character driven. It's very bare bones character driven story with some supernatural stuff.
Fair. I mean, to be fair, like when you look at it, like the fact that Shizumi got hyped.
Yeah,
it got hyped in this is the next like big beautiful anime spectacle movie, and it got a lot of hype. It got a lot of trailers. Like every time we went to the movies over like the course of like 3 months, we were seeing a trailer for it. Whereas I didn't hear anything about this film until like literally you were like, hey, do you fancy going to see this film?
Yeah, it was very much the case. I'm not familiar with the studio, but if this is like their first sort of jump into the movie scene, it's fine. It's very mid. Sounds horrible to call it, but it is just kind of like an average good film, 3 stars.
So mid.
Enjoyable. Yeah. I'd say a 6 out of 10 sort of movie.
6 out of 10. I mean, you know, 6 out of 10 is still above the mid.
Yeah, exactly. Like you only probably need to see it once. It probably doesn't have.
It'll be on come to Crunchyroll at some point, I imagine. But who actually publishes it? Like, who is the actual? Not publisher. Who produced it?
Studio Clamp.
Ah. Okay. Well, I will see it at some point, I imagine. I have to imagine. To.
An hour and 23 minutes, so it doesn't feel that long.
It's not massive. Yeah, it doesn't seem like it's too big a watch. So,
but yeah, fun.
Sounds good.
Right. Anyways,
this is the actual ending of the show.
This is the actual ending. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. As mentioned before, all the relevant links in the description down below. It's been fun. Make sure to catch us next time and stay safe. Susie Day, any final words?
It's very hot all over the world right now, so make sure that you stay hydrated, you wear your sunscreen, you look after yourself. Don't put yourself in unnecessary risk.
Yes. Great.
Also,
pearls of wisdom.
Watch lots of anime. Like, what better time to watch loads of anime than when it's too hot to be outside?
Perfect. Open those windows, let that breeze come in, and just kick back and watch some anime with some nice soda.
Do it.
Or fizzy pop if you live in the UK. Fizz.
Oh, fizzy juice. Yeah.
Be kind, rewind. Love you. Bye.